Short. Last में आती है. Very short. Give Prabhuji also chair. I think Prabhuji sits on it. Hello, Prabhu. How are you?
थोड़ा बजा रहा
तो भारी बाहर रखो मेरी जान. आपको ठीक है चलिए वहाँ से आप यूर ओके ओके
Sweet or sour point? No sour point.
अभी आप सबको बुला लीजिए।
चालू करें? हाँ चालू करें। एक मिनट दो बिना।
तो चेकिंग हो गया ना बोले?
हाँ बराबर।
ठीक है।
इसको भी घुमा दीजिएगा, इधर भी घुमा दीजिएगा, तो मालूम पड़े हम हाल से आपके चैनल।
कोई भी मृदंग बजाने वाला हो?
मैंने आई डोंट प्ले, who plays the mridang? Vedas will do it.
आप भी प्ले हो चुका है। जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा
No, they put diet yeah.
Because it's going up and down. So it's breaking and then down, breaking and down.
So maybe we can use the normal
See,
microphone.
now it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
But when you're singing, it's
Uh-huh.
breaking. So you hear something and then it goes out. So
No, if there is possibility of...
see?
okay, I think this will not be proper. Let us use the normal microphone.
Okay, hold on. Go ahead. Hold on. Just leave it.
कहीं पंखे से तो नहीं हो रहा है ये?
पंखे से भी
ये दोनों पंखों को बंद कर दिया जाए।
नहीं, इससे नहीं होगा, इससे होगा शायद। एक मिनट नहीं जो है।
हाँ, पंखे से हो सकता है। तो उसकी जरूरत क्या है फिर उसको बंद
चलो
कर
अभी ठीक है, अभी वो दीवार की तरफ आपको डायरेक्ट नहीं
बंद ही करो गाना बंद ही करो ये
अभी देख बाहर ही लगा लो। हाँ, ये इसमें लगाओ यार।
हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा। कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं।
It's probably better to have this
टेक्निकल प्रॉब्लम।
Looking fine. Kijk, hier dan vooruit. Kijk.
તમારી પાસે લાંબુ સ્ટેન્ડ છે આના કરતા?
Nou, actie.
ઓકે ચાલ.
Kan het zeker niet goed.
एक काम करें इसको पूरा
ऊपर करना है
ऐसा कुछ आ सकता है
आगे
something maybe के साथ
Ramji, there's something to put underneath this
to make it little higher.
because this won't go that more. Okay.
Oh, I should not put this one.
तो कंप्यूटर को ऊपर करना है you want same
इसमें
level
जा भी तो नहीं रहा है।
जानी
स्टैंड में कहाँ जा रहा है माइक? Smaller or what?
what do you think
Yeah. But probably I have a stand માં નથી લઈ ગયું માઇક. પહેલા દિવસ છે એટલે થાય.
No, it's too big.
okay now it's okay
No, but I think that will be better. Yeah, for Bhagavad it will be better. Yeah, मैंने change कर लिया बाजू. पकड़ो ना.
Okay.
पकड़ो ना. This is better. Maximum, huh?
Yeah.
Sorry. No, that's fine. ना ना तो
बहुत हो जाएगा इसको और कोई अगर कोई
नहीं ये ठीक है
Okay.
आप थोड़ा साउंड बढ़ा के रखना तो ये मैं दूर से बोलूँगा तो भी कैच करेंगे
अरे चाल में हाँ.
हरे
साउंड
कृष्णा। साउंड बढ़ाना पड़ेगा हरे कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा। थोड़ा इंक्रीज करिए और वॉल्यूम हरे कृष्णा। ठीक से सुनाई देता है? ठीक ठीक। जय राधा परिव्राजकाचार्यवर्य अष्टोत्तरशत श्रीमद् His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran Ki Srimad Bhagavatam Katha Maha Mahotsav Ki Yuga Dharma Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol Hari Hari Bol Hari Hari Bol. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Tadagmanyam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanshcha Shri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan सह गणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. At the very onset of present day's discourse, I would like to initially submit my most respectfully prostrated obeisances unto the lotus feet of their divine lordships Shri Shri Radha and Shyam Sundar Dev, along with their eternal associates and companions such as Shri Lalita Devi, Shri Vishakha Devi, Shri Rupati Manjari, etc. And along with them, I would also like to offer my most respectfully prostrated homages unto the lotus feet of their divine lordships Shri Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Shri Shri Nityananda Prabhu, along with their perpetual entourage such as Shri Larupa Goswami, Shri Sanatana Goswami, and all the 6 Goswamis of Shri Dham of Vrindavan. Finally, I would like to pay my due respects and obeisances unto the lotus feet of His Divine Grace, Abhaya Charanar Vinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who has very artistically propagated the doctrine of Krishna consciousness imbued with pure devotional transcendental sentiments throughout this world in this present modern era in a most unique and fantastic, unprecedented way. Conclusively, I would like to pay my obeisances also unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord present herein, and thereafter I would now like to commence our proposed context of discussion, especially the context of Srimad Bhagavatam, and especially the context of the glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam on this initial day of our six-day session on Srimad Bhagavatam. So, Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuran, we will try to glorify this spotless literature, the spotless evidence known as Srimad Bhagavatam today in our session. Srimad Bhagavatam has been given most significant position within the preceptorial line descending from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's precepts have been given by Sriman Mahaprabhu himself in the 8 verses known as Sri Chaitanya Shikshashtakam. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's precepts have been, in a more elaborate way, have been described by the successive acharyas, beginning with the 6 Goswamis like Shri Rupa, Shri Sanatan and Shri Jiva. So, in compilation consisting of more than 400,000 verses in Sanskrit, that is just Rupa Goswami's compilation. Actually, in the history of Vedic literature, this unprecedented task undertaken by the associates of Sriman Mahaprabhu has not been found in any time before these associates of Mahaprabhu. Historically speaking, Shri Krishna Dvaipayana Vyasadeva, who is the very incarnation of Lord Narayana, who is empowered by Lord Narayana, who is actually the Bhagavad Shaktiavish avatar of Lord Narayana. So this Krishna Dvaipayan Vyasadeva, the son of Satyavati and Parashar, for whom Parashar Mahamuni has proclaimed in Vishnu Puran by saying, Krishna Dvaipayanam Vidhi Sakshat Narayanam Prabhum. The father, Maharshi Parashar, is glorifying his son, Maharshi Vyasadeva, in front of Maitreya Muni in Vishnu Purana by saying that, O Maitreya, do not be misguided by thinking, do not be put into illusion, or do not be misguided by thinking that this Vyasadeva, who used to be your classmate fellow and who used to be your friend and peer, this Vyasadeva is not a mortal human being or one of the sages like you and me. He is rather the incarnation of Lord Narayana. He is not a Jivatma at all. He is Bhagavad Shaktiavish avatar. He is not living entity in any sense. And that is why Parashar Muni, while proclaiming the glories of Vyasadeva, has said in Vishnu Puran that Krishna Dvaipayanam Vidhi Sakshat Narayanam Prabhum. This Vyasadeva, known as Krishna Dvaipayana Vyas, is directly Sri Narayana himself. Sakshat means he is not Jiva Shaktiavish avatar, but rather he is Bhagavad Shaktiavish. What's the difference? So Rupa Goswami Pad in his Laghu Bhagavatamritam has described 6 types of incarnations of the Lord. So there are 24 Leela avatars, then there are 3 Purushavataras like Varah, Matsya, Narasimha, Kurma. These are Leela avatars, 24 Leela avatars in number. Then there are 3 types of Purushavataras or the Purusha incarnations known as in a sequential order Karunodakshayi Mahavishnu, then Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, and then Kshirodakshayi Vishnu. Vishnustu Trini Rupani. Sattva Tantra has also corroborated the same fact that Vishnu appears in 3-fold forms. Then Lord Narayana again expands himself into 3rd category or 3rd type of incarnation, and that is known as Gunavatar. Gunavatar means the predominating deities of the 3 modes of mundane material nature, namely passion, ignorance and goodness. So the predominating deity of goodness is Lord Vishnu. Using goodness, Lord Vishnu, utilizing the mode of goodness, he maintains the material world as Paramatma, as the super soul, as the maintainer and as the sustainer. Then Garbhodakshayi Vishnu, Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva, using the mundane mode of ignorance or tamoguna, he performs the task of dissolution or the final annihilation of this mundane world. Then utilizing the mode of passion or Rajoguna, Lord Brahma performs the task of creation or Srishti Karya, especially the task of secondary creation known as Visarga. So these 3 tasks in regards to the mundane world are executed by these 3 Gunavataras or the incarnations of the Lord, who are the presiding deities, who are the predominating deities, who are the Adhishthatri Devatas on these 3 modes of mundane nature, namely goodness, passion and ignorance. So Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva, these are the 3 Gunavataras. So we have already discussed about Gunavataras, Purushavataras and the Leela avatars. So Leela avatars descend to perform only pastimes, and the cause behind the pastimes is that has been very clearly explained by Lord Shri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita in the 4th chapter when he says, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bharata abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. That, O Arjuna, whenever and wherever there is potential decline in the followance of the principles of religion, in the followance of the principles of religion, whenever there is and wherever there is, yada and yatra, wherever and whenever there is potential decline in the practices of the religious principles or the followance of those religious principles, and whenever there is predominant rise of the irreligion, yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. Abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. At that particular moment or at that particular time, I do descend, I myself descend. Abhyutthanam adharmasya tadatmanam srijamyaham. I make myself manifest in this mundane world. So, and then in the next verse, Lord Krishna says, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chatushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yoge yoge. That my descent is, in what type of circumstance do I descend? He has already explained in the preceding verse, beginning with yada yada hi dharmasya. But now in this succeeding verse, Paritranaya sadhunam, Lord Krishna is trying to describe that after descending, what are my ambitions or what are my tasks that I perform or that I fulfill? What are the ambitions undertaking which I descend, and what are those ambitions which I fulfill? So he says that Paritranaya sadhunam, for the deliverance of those devotees of mine, because sadhus cannot be considered karmis, jnanis and ashtanga yogis here. Why? What to speak of duracharis and papacharis, what to speak of the sinful personages who are always engrossed within the darkness and oblivion of vices and sins. But even those who are satkarmis, those who are the performance of pious deeds and virtues, even those punyatmas, satkarmis, even the jnanis who have completely who have become completely transcendental or who have completely rose above the conception, the bodily conception, the identification of the body with the self, who have completely rose beyond this platform. Even those jnanis who are endeavoring to merge into the impersonal effulgence of the Lord, and even those ashtanga yogis who are always meditating on the Paramatma Kshirodakshai Vishnu, who is the localized portion of Shri Krishna. All these three, Satkarmis, Jnanis and Ashtanga yogis and the followers of different other paths of self-realization, they are not to be considered sadhus here. Because Lord Krishna has proclaimed in Srimad Bhagavatam, especially Lord Narayana has proclaimed in Srimad Bhagavatam in the 9th canto, especially in the topic concerning Maharaj Amrish and the offense of Maharaj Amrish done by Durvasa Rishi. So at that time when Durvasa is being chased by Sudarshan Chakra, and Durvasa is roaming throughout the three worlds, but nowhere he has found any asylum, nowhere he has found any shelter, proper shelter. So even Lord Shiva rejected him, Lord Brahma rejected him, Indra rejected him, and all the principal demigods and other supernatural powers, they utterly rejected providing the idea of providing him with any type of asylum. So at last he approaches Lord Vaikuntanath Narayan, who is residing within Mahavaikuntha, which is on the other side of the Virja Nadi, also known as the causal ocean. So when Durvasa has entered into Mahavaikuntha, at that time Durvasa has prayed unto the lotus feet of the Lord for shelter, for safe haven. At that time, Lord Narayana has told him that because of this offense that has been created by you unto the lotus feet of my pure devotee, I am not able to provide you with any type of shelter. And at that time Lord Narayana has said that Sadhava Hridayam Mahyam Sadhunam Hridayam Tvaham Madanyate na jananti Naham Tebhyo Managapi Sadhava Hridayam Mahyam. Actually, who are sadhus? This is what Lord Krishna is describing. Who are sadhus? In Bhagavad Gita, he has already substantiated this theme that sadhus can, the title sadhus can only be awarded, can only be bestowed on the devotees following the pure devotional path or Shuddha Bhakti Marga, as it has been described by Sri Rupa Goswami Pad in the Nectar of Devotion as Anya Vilashita Shunyam Jnana Karmadhyana Vritam Anukulyena Krishna Anushilanam Bhaktiruttama. That cultivation of those activities, or the uninterrupted flow of service performed through the all endeavors of body, mind and speech, performed through all the threefold faculties of body, mind and speech, physical faculty, mental faculty and vocal faculty. All the endeavors performed through body, mind and speech, which comprise constant endeavor, or which comprise the uninterrupted flow of service unto the Lord with a favorable attitude, endowed with a favorable attitude, that cultivation of activities which is pleasing the Lord and which is endowed with favorable attitude and which is performed following the footsteps of great devotees and acharyas of Bhakti Marga, that particular cultivation of activities which is covered by the desires of liberation or emancipation from this material world, and which is completely devoid of the coverings of jnana, karma, yoga, sankhya, etc., which is completely devoid of the coverings of can you please turn on the voice as it was? Yeah. No, but that is so I will keep it little distant if that's the case. Yeah. So, which is completely uncovered by the coverings of karma, jnana and ashtanga yoga, etc. That particular uninterrupted service to the Lord is known as Shuddha Bhakti, that is known as pure devotion, or the most exalted form of devotion, Uttama Bhakti. This is what has been described by Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So, Lord Krishna has said in the 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, while describing the position of the real Mahatmas or the saintly divine personalities or the sadhus, he has described by saying, Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashritah bhajatyananya manaso gyatva bhutadim avyayam. Mahatmanastu mam partha. The Mahatmas or the highly revered personalities are not karmis, jnanis, yogis and duracharis and satkarmis. No. The highly revered personalities or the great souls, Mahatmas, are those particular souls knowing me to be inexhaustible, avyayam, and knowing me to be the beginning of all the living entities, bhutadi, yatva bhutadi avyayam. Those who perform selfless surrender and selfless devotional service unto me by full dedication, by whole dedication. Mahatmanastu mam partha, and who are completely under the shelter of the internal potency of mind known as ahladini shakti. Mahatmanastu mam partha daivim prakritim ashritah bhajatyananya manaso, and who are exclusively worshipping me, endowed with 3 types of exclusiveness. Exclusiveness in sadhan, exclusiveness in sadhya, and exclusiveness in aradhya. 3 types of exclusiveness. Exclusiveness in sadhya means the goal. Sadhya means the goal. Sadhana means the means. Sadhana is defined as the means which takes person to the goal. The means which fulfills the very desire of undertaking the means. The means, when it fulfills the very desire of its undertaking. What's the very desire of its undertaking? The very desire of undertaking the path or the means is to attain the goal. So the means which avoids the goal. So goal is known as sadhya. So sadhya is also exclusive for pure devotees. Sadhana or the path or the means leading to that sadhya or goal is also exclusive for the devotees, and the aradhya, the worshipable deity, is also exclusive to the devotees. So, how aradhya or the worshipable deity is exclusive? How aradhya tattva or the worshipable deity is exclusive? That is, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has explained, and Srinath Chakravarti Pad, he has actually elaborated upon the teachings of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Actually, he has put the teachings of Mahaprabhu in a synopsis, in one shloka, by saying, Aradhyo Bhagavan Brajesha Tanayah Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadhu Vargena Ya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramana Mamalam Prema Pumartho Mahan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhor Matamidam Tatra Darona Parah. So, the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the sermons that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave, are all summarized within this single shloka by Srinath Chakravarti Pad in the very beginning of his Chaitanya Mat Manjusha commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has explained that the Aradhya Tattva or the worshipable deity should be only of one type and it should be exclusive, and that is the Shri Krishna of Shri Dham Vrindavan, who is the foster son of Maharaj Nand and Yashoda, and who is always performing his enchanting, erotic and aesthetic dalliances with the conjugal cowherd maidens of Braja. That Shyama Sundar Shri Krishna, who is always adept on playing on flute on the fifth note, that Shri Krishna, Venu Ninad Parayan Shri Krishna, is actually the Aradhya Tattva. That Shri Krishna of Vrindavan, Braj Bihari Shri Krishna, he is actually the Aradhya Tattva or the worshipable deity for the devotees following in the footsteps of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Aradhya Tattva means exclusiveness in the worshipable deity. Shri Krishna of Vrindavan, not even the Shri Krishna of Dwarka, who is known as Keshavadev, not even the Shri Krishna of Mathura, known as Vasudev, then what to speak of other incarnations and expansions of that Shri Krishna, known as Ram, Narsingh, Varah, Matsya, Kurma, etc. Only the Shri Krishna of Vrindavan has been considered to be the Aradhya Tattva, the exclusive worshipable deity, especially for those who are following the path of Radha Sadhan Bhakti and whose only desire is to enter into the eternal pastimes of Vrajbhumi Vrindavan. That is known as exclusiveness in Aradhya Tattva, worshipable deity. Then comes exclusiveness in Sadhya Tattva, or the exclusiveness in the goal which is to be attained. So the goal which is to be attained is known as Prema Bhakti. Because as Srila Jiva Goswami Pad has explained in the very beginning of his Tattva Sandarbha, he has explained the whole threefold aspects of spirituality known as Sambandha Tattva, Avideya Tattva and Prayojan Tattva in a gist by saying Yasya Brahmeti Sangyam Kvachidapi Nigameyati Chinmatra Sattapyamsho Yasyam Shakaihay Swair Vibhavati Vashayanneva Mayam Pumanscha Ekam Yasyaiva Rupam Vilasati Paramavyomni Narayanathyam Sa Shri Krishna Vidattam Swayamiha Bhagavan Prema Tatpada Bhajam. That Shri Krishna, impersonal, whose bodily effulgence is known as the impersonal Brahman, and whose localized portion, who is known as Vishnu, Kshiravakshai Vishnu, and whose incarnations like Rama, Narayana, etc. are known as Bhagavan, who are full with six opulences, Shraishwarya Purna, that original primeval Lord, Swayam Bhagavan, Swayam Rupa Shri Krishna of Vrindavan, may that Shri Krishna grant the benediction, the boon of Prema Bhakti, the boon of unalloyed transcendental love for his enchanting all attractive lotus feet unto the devotees who are serving his lotus feet, unto his Pad Padma Sevi Bhaktas. So, Sa Shri Krishna Vidhattam Swayamiha Bhagavan Prema Tatpada Bhajam. Tatpada Bhajam means those devotees who are like the bees, who are like the honeybees, who are like the bumblebees. And those devotees who are like the honeybees and who are always trying to taste the sweet nectar emanating from the lotus feet of the Lord. The lotus feet of the Lord are emanating sweet nectar through the process of devotional service, and the devotees are like the honeybees who are tasting this sweet nectar. So unto these devotees who are tasting the sweet nectar emanating from your lotus feet, may you, O Shri Krishna, grant your most rarely obtained Prema Bhakti. Sa Shri Krishna Vidattam Swayamiha Bhagavan Prema Tatpada Bhajam. So this is known as Sadhya, or the only goal to be attained. Liberation or mukti, moksha, is not to be considered goal here, because Srimad Bhagavatam has utterly rejected the idea of liberation by saying in the conversation which has ensued between Kapil Dev and his mother Devahuti in the third canto, Kapil Bhagavan is making it very clear that Sarupya Sarshti Samipya Sarupyai Katvam Apyuta दीयमानं न गृह्णन्ति विनामत सेवनं जनः निर्गुणं लक्षणं भक्ति योगस्य निर्गुणस्य ह्युदाहृतं. Now Kapil Bhagavan has said that after describing different paths like karma, jnana, yoga, etc., now I will describe the purest form of devotional service, which is above the three modes of material nature, as it has been substantiated in Bhagavad Gita by the verse 26th verse of the 14th chapter. मांचयो अव्यभिचारेण भक्ति योगेन सेवते सगुणान् समतीत्यैतान् ब्रह्म भूयाय कल्पते. Lord Shri Krishna has said that those who worship me through the process of sadhana bhakti or devotional service in practice, which is above the three modes of material nature, they also become above the three modes. They also go beyond the three modes of material nature. Because they are practicing such sadhana bhakti, which is itself beyond the three modes of material nature, unlike the other paths like karma, jnana and yoga. The path of karma is on the level of mode of passion. Because within the path of karma, the fruitive desires are prominent. So fruitive desires in turn emanate from lust or kam. The different types of fruitive desires, they are emanating from kam or lust, according to Srimad Bhagavad Gita. And because the fruitive desires, they act as an impetus for a person to enter into karma marg. That is why those fruitive activities are known as to be on the level of the mode of passion or rajoguna. But jnana marg, ashtanga yoga marg, and these other paths of nivritti, retirement, karma marg is the path of pravritti or attachment to the material world, which binds its performer more and more deeply into the shackles of this material illusion. But those paths like Jnana Marg and Ashtanga Yoga Marg and Bhakti Marg, they are considered to be the paths of nivritti or retirement, which gradually enable their practitioner. These paths gradually enable their practitioners to go beyond the three modes of material nature and to go beyond the network of illusion, avidya jal. So these other paths like karma, jnana and yoga, karma is fully on the level of mode of passion, rajoga. But the paths like jnana marg and ashtanga yoga, they are on the level of mode of mundane goodness. Because Lord Krishna has substantiated in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita by saying, Sattvad sanjayate jnanam rajaso lobha eva cha pramada moha tamaso. And Lord Krishna is saying that from tamoguna, pramad and moha, they are emanated. Pramada means illusion. Illusion and laziness, they are emanated from the mode of ignorance. From the mode of passion, lust, anger and greed are emanated. And from the mode of mundane goodness, bhautik sattva guna, mishra sattva guna, mixed goodness. So from the mundane goodness is emanated jnanam. Jnanam means knowledge, especially the knowledge in regards to the impersonal Brahman feature of the absolute truth. Because the absolute truth has been divided into three features, as per Srimad Bhagavatam has said, Vadanti tattvavidas tattvam yajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavaniti shabdyate. That Vadanti tattvavidah, Sutta Goswami is saying to Shaunak Mahamuni that those who are the knowers of the spirituality, or those who are the knowers of absolute truth in full-fledged way, those who know the absolute truth, they claim that the absolute truth is appearing in three phases, in three different states. The first phase that it appears as that same non-dual absolute truth, Advaya Jnana Tattva or Advaya Brahma. Because the Shrutis have stated that Ekam Eva Advitiyam Brahma Na Dvitiyosti Kaschit. That this supreme absolute truth or Brahma is only one in quantity, it is neither two nor more. This is what the Vedas have proclaimed. So, Vadanti tattvavidah tattvam yajnanam advayam. Those who are tattvavettas. Tattvavettas means those who know the reality in full amount, or in those who know the reality in proper way. Those tattvavettas, they have declared, those knowers of the absolute truth, they have declared that the same absolute non-dual truth is is appearing in three ways. First, in the form of impersonal Brahman, Nirvishesh Nirakara Brahman. Second, as the form of Paramatma, localized portion of the Lord Super Soul, the indwelling monitor or the oversoul, guiding all the living entities from within. And the third form of the absolute truth is Bhagavan, who is full with six opulences and who is always performing his transcendental pastimes, endowed with divine transcendental names, nomenclatures, attributes, qualities, entourage, paraphernalia, associates, and deity, personal form. So, this Shri Krishna, the knowledge in regards to the Paramatma feature and the impersonal Brahman feature, that knowledge is actually, it arises from the mundane mode of goodness. Then what to speak of the knowledge concerning the differentiation between the material gross and subtle bodies with that of the soul? The knowledge which is in regards to the differentiation between the mundane gross and subtle bodies with that of the soul, that knowledge which makes us think that body is completely different from the soul. Both the subtle and gross bodies are completely different from the soul. Soul is a different entity. So this knowledge which is described in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, known as Sankhya Yoga, or the analytical studies of the difference between the elements of material nature and the living entity, that knowledge is completely on the level of mundane mode of goodness. Even the knowledge in regards to the impersonal Brahman feature of the Lord and Paramatma feature of the Lord is on the level of mundane mode of goodness. And that is why Satmad Sanjayate Jnanam. So the Jnana Margis, they are on the level of mundane mode of goodness. Ashtanga Yoga Margis, the followers of Paramatma feature, they are also known as Paramatmavadis. Jnana Margis are known as Brahmavadis. They are all on the level of mundane mode of goodness. Whereas the devotees following the pure devotional path, Shuddha Nirguna Bhakti, Shuddha Trigunatita Bhakti, they are completely beyond the three modes of nature, because the very shelter that they have taken, the very path that they have taken recourse of, the path of bhakti, is itself beyond the three modes of nature. And Lord has substantiated this point in Bhagavad Gita by saying, Mam chayo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samatityaitan brahma bhojaya kalpate. That those who are performing this pure transcendental devotional service, which is itself beyond the three modes, they also go beyond the three modes. So, Bhagavad Bhakti is to be considered beyond the three modes of mundane nature, in contrast, in contradiction, in comparison to these other paths like Jnana, Karma, Sankhya, etc. So, now, exclusiveness in sadhan. Exclusiveness in sadhan. So the sadhan, there are different sadhans and they have different. So exclusiveness in sadhan here means that exclusiveness and steadfastly following the path of devotion, without sometimes adhering to the path of jnana, sometimes again changing the course and sticking to the path of sakam karma, sometimes again amending the path and changing and selecting the path of nishkam karma yoga or the unmotivated action, sometimes again taking the recourse of the path of ashtanga yoga or the eightfold mystic system. One who does not change his path intermittently, but who always steadfastly adheres and sticks to the path of devotional service, being exclusive, being of exclusive mind, that person is known as having exclusiveness in the principle of the means of attainment, sadhana tattva. That means who always adheres to the path of bhakti without following the path of karma, jnana and yoga, is his exclusiveness. He has exclusiveness in terms of sadhana. So exclusiveness in terms of sadhana, exclusiveness in terms of sadhya. Sadhya means the only goal is prema bhakti, not material, not liberation and not material sense enjoyment. These are not the goals for the practice of devotional service. The only goal behind the practice of devotional service is to attain prema bhakti, which is known as pancham purushartha. Because Lord Krishna, Kapil Maharaj has declared that sarokya sarashti samipya sarupya ikatvam apyuta diyamananda grihananti vinamat sevanam jana lakshanam bhakti yogasya nirgunasya hyudahyatam. that now I shall describe, after describing these other paths like karma, jnana and yoga, now I shall describe the path of pure devotion which is completely nirgun. Nirgun means which is completely beyond the three modes of material world. Lakshanam bhakti yogasya nirgunasya yudahritam. And what are the characteristics of this transcendental devotional path? He says that these 5 types of liberations, beginning with Brahma Sayujya Mukti, or merging into the impersonal feature of the Lord, which is the goal for the Gyan Margis or Gyanis. Then, Sarokya Mukti, second type of liberation, which means residing or inhabiting on the same planet as Lord Vishnu resides, that means the Vaikuntha planet, Sarokya Mukti. Sarshti Mukti, upon entering into the planet, spiritual world or the Vaikuntha planet, enjoying almost same opulences as the Lord enjoys. That is known as Sarshti Mukti. Sarupya Mukti is the 4th type. Sarupya Mukti means after entering into the planet of Lord Vishnu, Vaikuntha Loka, attaining almost similar form and divine form as the Lord possesses, with some differences. That is known as Sarupya Mukti. And Samipya Mukti, the 5th type of liberation or Mukti, means that being in close proximity and vicinity to the Lord, being very near to the Lord. So all these 5 types of liberations, just for the sake of these liberations, the devotees never accept these liberations. Even if I am the giver of these liberations, even if I, raising my 2 hands, becoming the most generous donor, if I want to bestow these 5 types of liberations on my devotees, still my devotees, they will even reject my order, they will even not care about hurting my sentiments. Even if I want to give, even if I want to bestow these 5 types of liberations, this Panchavida Mukti, unto my devotees who are following the exclusive path of devotion, then even they will not care about hurting my sentiments. I am the donor, but they will not care about hurting my sentiments. They will bluntly tell me that we do not want this liberation. So, Sarukya Sarshti Samikya Sarukya Ikatvamapyuta Diyamanam na Grihnanti Vinamar Sevaram Jana. Even if I am the giver, they will not accept it. Diyamanam na Grihnanti Vinamar Sevaram Jana. Then what to speak about? The ephemeral and temporal sense gratification. They will never accept sense gratification. If they are not ready to accept the liberation, then what to speak of sense gratification? By default, automatically, that option is cancelled. That option that they will, that possibility or that option that my devotees will accept sense gratification has automatically been cancelled, has automatically been checked out. Because if they are not ready to accept emancipation, how will they accept sense gratification? So, the pure devotees of the Lord, being of such type, are never interested in attaining even the liberations or the muktis. Then what to speak of bhakti? These devotees of the Lord are having exclusiveness in sadhana. Except for devotional path, they do not take to any other path. Except for the goal of prema bhakti, their goal is neither liberation nor sense enjoyment. That is exclusiveness in sadhya or the goal. Exclusiveness in the means has already been described. And the exclusiveness in aradhya or the worshipable deity has also been described now. So those devotees of the Lord who are endowed with these threefold types of exclusiveness, they are known as the Ananya Bhaktas. Ananya Bhaktas means who are fully endowed with threefold exclusiveness. And when Lord Krishna here says, when he describes the Mahatma, Mahatmanastu Mam Partha, Daivim Prakriti Mashritaha, Bhajanti Ananya Manasaha, Gyatva Bhutadi Magyayam. He says that those devotees of mine who are exclusively worshipping me, Lord Krishna is actually trying to denote or he is trying to imply these 3 types of exclusiveness. Only those pure devotees of the Lord, not the karmis, jnanis and yogis, who are endowed with these 3 types of exclusiveness, they are to be considered Mahatmas or the great reverential, adorable personalities, respectable personalities. And these Mahatmas is what Lord Krishna is talking about in the context of Durvasa by saying Sadhavo hridayam mahyam sadhunam hridayam tvaham madanyatte na jananti naham tebhyo vinagapi. That these sadhus or these Mahatmas, these great saintly people or respectable great souls, their heart is me. I am their heart. Sadhavo hridayam mahyam sadhunam hridayam tvaham. And my heart are they. They are my heart and I am their heart. That means that although the ontological difference between the existence of the living entities with that of the existence of the Lord exists, the ontological difference never gets broken or destroyed. But even though the ontological difference between the existence of the living entities and the Lord exists, but still the Lord is saying that their hearts are inseparable from me and my heart is inseparable from them, because they always remember me exclusively without remembering any other object or item of this world, and I always remember them from the core of my heart without forgetting all the other objects and items. I never remember, I never recall upon the karmis, jnanis and yogis. I always remember my devotees, and my devotees, they also exclusively remember me. So this is known as, these are known as Mahatmas, or the great saintly personalities. Mahatma, Sadhavo hridayam mahyam, sadhunam hridayam tvaham, madanyatte na jananti naham tebhyo managapi. Except for me, they do not know anything else in this world, and I also do not know anything else except for them in this world. Madanyatte na jananti naham tebhyo managapi. So, the actual point that we were trying to describe is that there have been many different acharyas and pure devotees of the Lord who have described the pastimes and glories of the Lord, and who have described the glories of devotional service to the Lord in different ways, while writing innumerable divine literatures and compilations and treatises. But in the history of the Sanatana Vaidika Dharma, the contribution, the literary contribution that the disciples and the followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu have given is completely insurpassable, incomparable and unexcelled. So, now we will compare Lord Vyasadeva's. So actually we were trying to explain what is Lord Vyasadeva's position by saying Krishna Dvaipayanam Vidhi Sakshat Narayanam Prabhu. Yes. Krishna Dvaipayanam Vidhi Sakshat Narayanam Prabhu. That Krishna Dvaipayan Vyasadeva, because we have to understand the author of Srimad Bhagavatam before trying to understand Srimad Bhagavatam. So Krishna Dvaipayan Vyasadeva's position is that he is Bhagavad Shaktiavesh. But in order to know what Bhagavad Shaktiavesh means, we have to be acquainted with the 6 different types of incarnations of the Lord. So the Gunavataras we have described, Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva. The threefold Purusha incarnations we have already described, Karanadakshayi, Garbhadakshayi and Kshirodakshayi. Then the 24 types of Leelavataras. Oh yes, Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Chatushkritam. Why the Lord descends as pastime incarnation? Why the Lord descends as Leelavatar? That we were explaining. Paritranaya Sadhunam, in order to deliver the sadhus. And what sadhu means, we have now understood. Paritranaya Sadhunam, sadhu does not mean karmi, jnani, yogi. Then what to speak of those who are always engrossed in vicious activities and misdeeds and sinful actions. Even the Satkarmis, even the Jnanis and Yogis are not to be considered sadhus here in the most strictest and reserved and exclusive sense of the Shastra. So, Paritranaya Sadhunam, for the deliverance of the devotees of the Lord descends. And Kunti Devi has also substantiated this fact in Srimad Bhagavatam by saying, Shravana smararhani karishyanniti kechana, just so that your devotees can think of your pastimes, remember your transcendental holy name, form, etc. Always check of your pastimes and glories, and always hear of your pastimes and glories. That's the only reason you appear, Kunti Maharani says. Although there are many different reasons why you appear, and they have been all explained. by different personalities, but my consideration for your advent is that the only cause for your advent is to deliver your devotees by facilitating for them the chance of remembering, glorifying and hearing your transcendental name, form and pastimes. And that can only occur once you become manifest, once you make your transcendental form manifest on this mundane world and you perform these pastimes. So Shravana Smarana Arhani Karishan Nitikechana. That's the only reason why the Lord appears. Sadhunam Vinashaya Dushkritam, and for the destruction or the killing of the miscreants. Lord kills those miscreants or demonic personalities who are rather endeavoring or trying to create imbalance on this earth by performing vicious activities or sinful misdeeds. So Paritranaya Sadhunam Vinashaya Chadushkritam Dharma Samsthapanarthaya. And to again establish the principles of irreligion and make the so-called irreligion which was on rise again on decline. To make the so-called irreligion, a dharma which was on rise, again go on decline. These are the purposes in order to fulfill which the Lord incarnates as the 24 Leela avatars or pastime incarnations. Then Lord incarnates as the threefold Purusha avatars, then 3 Guna avatars, then He incarnates as 4 Yuga avatars to establish the specific religious duties and to establish the specific methods of worship according to the different yugas, Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga and Kali Yuga. So there are 4 yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapar and Kali, and in these 4 yugas the Lord is worshipped in different 4 ways, although the bottom line principle is Param Dharma or the highest form of religion, which is devotional service, but that devotional service takes on 4 different forms or shapes according to 4 different times of Satya, Treta, Dwapar and Kali. Krite Yadhyayato Vishnu Tretayam Yajato Makhaihi Dwapare Paricharyayam Kalau Tadhari Kirtanat. In Krita Yuga or Satya Yuga, the way the Lord is worshipped through devotional service is through the limb of meditation, dhyan. And in Treta Yuga, the Lord is worshipped through the forms of sacrifices. Then in Dwapar Yuga, the Lord is worshipped through the deity form. And in Kali Yuga, the Lord is especially worshipped through the congregational chanting of the holy names of the Lord, Nama Sankirtana Yajna. As it has also been substantiated in Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, within the conversation of Karabhajan, Yogindra and Nimi Maharaj, Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sangapangastra Parshadam Yagyai Sankirtana Prayai Ryajanti Sumedasaha. Or those intelligent people of Kali Yuga will worship Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu predominantly through the performance of those sacrifices which are predominantly consisting of the congregational chanting of the holy name. Yagyai Sankirtana Prayai Yajanti Sumedasaha. So these are the 4 Yuga avatars. In Satya Yuga, the Lord appears as Shukla avatar, taking on the white complexion in the form of Hansa avatar. He gives instructions to Lord Brahma, to the 4 Kumaras and to Narada. Then in Treta Yuga, the Lord undertakes the reddish complexion, and thus he is known as Raktavatar, and he establishes the principles of Dravya Yajna or the sacrifices by being called as Yajna Purush or the predominating deity of sacrifice. Then in Treta Dwapar Yuga, the Lord appears as Shri Krishna, and the Yugavatar of the Dwapar Yuga also merges into Swayam Bhagavan Shri Krishna in that particular Dwapar Yuga in which Shri Krishna is going to appear. And the Lord establishes the principle of worship, and the Yugavatar of Kali Yuga, whose fixed, predetermined function is to establish the principle of congregational chanting of the holy names, merges into the identity of Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when Swayam Bhagavan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is about to appear in some particular type of Kali Yuga. So these are the 4 Yuga avatars. Then there are 14 Manvantara avatars, because there are 14 Manvantaras and each Manvantara is presided by each different Manu or the son of Brahma, and each Manvantara consists of 71 cycles of 4 yugas. There are 4 yugas: Satya, Treta, Dwapara and Kali. Kali Yuga has 432,000 years of lifespan. Dwapara Yuga, the preceding yuga, has double 8 million 8 million no 8 8 million. Yes, 8 million. I was counting according to the lakh system in India. So 8 million 64,000 years in Dwapar Yuga. In Treta Yuga, which is preceding Dwapar, there are 12 million 64,000 years, and in Satya Yuga there are 18 million 64,000 years. So in total,
43.
yes.
18 plus 30.
Yes, so in total there are 43 million years roughly in the 4 yugas, and these 4 yugas comprise one cycle known as Chaturyugi. Then this Chaturyugi is multiplied 71 times, then it becomes one Manvantara. After every Chaturyugi, the demigods of heaven, they change. The present Indra is known as Purandar, and the present consort or wife of Indra is known as Shachi Devi. Indra is just a title, it's not the name of the person occupying the throne. So the present Indra known as Purandara will be changed once the next cycle of the 4 yugas starts, and Bali Maharaj will be put as the next Indra, who is right now acting in transit period, waiting in the Rasatal, who is waiting in the transit period. So after every 4 yugas or one Chaturyugi or the one cycle of 4 yugas, all the 333 million demigods of heaven, including Indra, Varuna, Chandra, Surya, etc., they all get changed. Not Brahma and Shiva, we are not talking about them. So there are 71 cycles of 4 yugas within one Manvantara, and one Manvantara is presided by one Manu. So in the lifetime of one Manu, the demigods beginning with Indra or headed by Indra, they get changed 71 times. So Manu's lifespan is 71 times greater than the lifespan of the demigods, Devatas of Swarga. And these 14 Manvantaras, when they are combined together, that means 4 yugas and one cycle of 4 yuga times 71 is one Manvantara times 14 means one Kalpa. 14 Manvantaras combined together means one Kalpa. And one Kalpa is just 12 hours of the daytime of Lord Brahma. 12 hours of the daytime of Lord Brahma. Then next 12 hours comprise the night time of Lord Brahma. And during the night time of Lord Brahma, Atyantika Pralaya, or the 4th type of annihilation, the 4th degree of annihilation takes place. And in the 4th degree of annihilation, all the planets except for Lord Brahmaji's planet get destroyed. The earth planet, the planet of Indra, heavenly planets, the Patal Lokas or the Netherlands, they all get destroyed. Only the planet of Lord Brahma, Satyalok or Brahmalok remains. So these are the 12 hours equal to the 12 hours of daytime. Then when again the daytime comes, the creation is started, and then the first Kalpa. Kalpa means just the 12 hours of the daytime portion. So Brahmaji's lifespan is 100 years, consists of 100 years, and each year of Brahmaji has fixed amount of 360 days. Not one day less, not one day more. Because according to the Vedic system of calculation, according to the Vedic astronomy, 1 year consists of 360 days, not more, not less. One normal year. We are not talking about the year which has an extra 13th month known as Purushottama Mas or the Mal Mas. We are talking about the regular year. So Brahmaji has 100 years of lifespan, and all of his 100 years have only 12 months. So his 1 year has 360 days. Each month has 30 fixed days. So 30 times 12 is 360 days per year. Then his lifespan is divided twofold. Purvardha and Parardha. Purvardha means the first half of Brahmaji's life. Uttarardha means the second half. So the present Brahma of the present universe in which we are situated is Chaturmukha Brahma having 4 heads. Is Chaturmukha Brahma having 4 heads, and this Brahma, his half of the life has already been spent. So the 51st year of Lord Brahma is currently going on. According to the description given by Lord Vyasa in the Puranas, the 51st year of Brahma is going on. The first 50 years of his lifespan have already been gone, have been spent. So the next division known as Uttarardha has just started. So 360 days, 12 months. 12 months, and they are again divided into 6 seasons. One season has 2 months. Autumn, spring, summer, monsoon, winter, etc. Each season has 2 months. So 6 seasons in a year. 6 times 2 is 12 months. Then 3 seasons in one half of the year, 3 seasons in the other half of the year. So the first half of the year is known as Uttarayana, and the second half of the year is known as Dakshinayana. So Uttarayana has 3 seasons, Dakshinayana has 3 seasons, Uttarayana has 6 months, Dakshinayana has 6 months. Then each season has 2 months. 1 month has 30 fixed days. And each day is again divided into 2 parts, daytime and nighttime. Just the daytime part of the 1 day of Brahma is known as 1 kalpa. So the present kalpa is known as Shvetvarah kalpa. So each day of Brahma has a different name, and they are all mentioned in the Puranas, but the present day is known as Shvetvarah kalpa. And this whole lifespan of Brahma, all the 100 years of Brahma, after 100 years Brahmaji dies. He relinquishes his mundane, gross and subtle body, and he becomes liberated. So these 100 years of Brahma, this whole lifespan, this whole duration of his life comprises only 1 exhalation and inhalation of Karanodakshaya Vishnu. That is 1 inhalation and exhalation of Karanodakshaya Vishnu. These are the glories of Lord Krishna. And Lord Shri Krishna, he is being the Swayam Rupa Swayam Bhagavan. From him Balram expands, who is the Tadeka Atma Rup, who is not different from Swayam Bhagavan Shri Krishna, the Balram of Vrindavan. He expands. From this Balram expands the first quadruple expansion known as Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna and Aniruddha, who inhabit in the Dwarka, or in the Mathura, or in Mathura and Dwarka both. Then from this first quadruple expansion of Vasudeva, Sankarshana, Pradyumna and Aniruddha expands the second quadruple expansion, the Dvitiya Chaturvyuha of Vaikuntha of Lord Narayana. And then from the Sankarshan of the Dvitiya Chaturvyuha, the Sankarshan of the second quadruple expansion expands Karanodakshaya Mahavishnu, the first Purusha. From Karanodakshaya expands Garbhodakshaya, from him expands Kshirodakshaya, and from Kshirodakshaya expands the incarnations like Vara, Matsya, Kurma, etc. So this is the supramundane ontological position of Shri Krishna, who is the most exalted. And that is why he is known as Avatari, or the Anshi, who is the source, who is the fountain source, who is the summum bonum of all other types of incarnations and expansions of the Lord. And that is why Brahma Samhita is very clear about this point, and he says that Ramadi Murtishu Kalani Amena Tishtannana Avatara Vakarod Bhuvaneshu Kintu Krishna Swayam Samabhavat Paramaha Pumanyo Govindamadi Purushantamaham Bhajami. That I adore that original primeval personality of Godhead Shri Krishna, who expands himself in many different forms like Ram, Narasimha, Varaha, etc., who are just his mere expansions and expansions of his expansions, plenary portions, Anshas and Kalas. Then Deeparchire Vahika Shantaram Abhyupetya Deepayate Vivrita Hetu Samana Dharma Yastadrige Vahicha Vishnutaya Vibhati Govindamadi Purushantamaham Bhajami. Lord Krishna is compared, is equivalent to the original candle which lights all other candles. So all other incarnations and expansions having the same potency as the Lord, but they are dependent on Swayam Bhagavan Shri Krishna for their existence. Bhagavatam is very clear and says, Ete Chanshkala Punsah Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam Indrari Vyavalam Lokam Hridayanti Yuge Yuge. That all these other incarnations and expansions counted among the 22 Leela Avtaras, they are all coming out from Karanodakshai and Kshirodakshai. But Shri Krishna is Swayam Bhagavan, even the source of Karanodakshai and Kshirodakshai. So this Shri Krishna expands indirectly into the sixfold incarnations, and the sixth type of his incarnation after the Manvantara avatar, there are 14 Manvantara avatars in different 14 Manvantaras. And the respectable 14 Manus of those 14 Manvantaras, they worship these Manvantara avatars during their lifetime. Then is the sixth category of incarnation known as Shaktyavesh, or the empowered incarnations. Shaktyavesh incarnations are of two types, Bhagavad Shaktyavesh and Jiva Shaktyavesh. So Jiva Shaktyavesh avatars are those incarnations of the Lord who are actually living entities, who are Jivatmas, products of the marginal potency, who are Vibhinnanshas, who are not Swanshas, who are not Vishnu Tattva, who are not the non-separated incarnations of the Lord, but who are rather the separated fragmental parts and parcels of the Lord, Vibhinnansha Jivatma. And when in some extremely qualified, highly qualified living entities, the Lord empowers those highly qualified, extremely qualified living entities, and He makes them surcharged. He makes them surcharged with some of His potencies in partial amount. Then that particular living entity who has become surcharged by some of the transcendental potencies of the Lord in partial amount is known as Jiva Shaktyavesh avatar. But when the Lord Himself incarnates, but manifests only partial potencies and partial opulence, according to the time, place and circumstance, not all the opulences and not all the not the display of the whole prowess of the Lord is needed. The display of the total prowess of the Lord is not required, is not needed, is not deemed essential and necessary at all times and in all places. So Lord Narayan, when He Himself incarnates, keeping in mind the special type of time, place and circumstance in which He is incarnating, and keeping in mind the amount of the display of His transcendental energy which is needed, and when He displays only some portion of His transcendental energy according to what it is required, then that incarnation is known as Bhagavad Shaktyavesh. When the Lord Himself incarnates, He does not empower any living entity. He Himself incarnates but does not display all the six opulences in full-fledged amount. And these six opulences have been described again in Vishnu Purana by Parashar Muni to Maitreya. Aishwaryasya samagrasya viryasya yashasahashriyah jnana vairagya yoshchaiva sharnam bhaga itingana. That these sixfold opulences, like all renunciation, all fame, all beauty, all physical strength, all knowledge, etc., all these sixfold renunciations, all these sixfold opulences, Lord has in full amount, and simultaneously the Lord possesses them. The Lord possesses these six opulences in full amount and simultaneously. And these six opulences found within the personality of the Lord are not like their mundane counterparts. They are completely spiritual and transcendental and conscious in nature. The quality of yasha or fame in this mundane world is unconscious, inert, that quality. But the quality known as yasha or fame in the transcendental world that the Lord possesses, and that which is present within the personality of the Lord, is not inert, mundane and unconscious and inanimate and incognitive like the mundane counterpart of itself, of its own self. You see, yasha in the mundane world also and yasha in the spiritual world also. But what's the difference? There is total ontological difference in their identities. It's not that the Lord possesses the same yasha that is attached with the mundane personalities. The mundane yasha or the mundane fame, the mundane publicity or the mundane fame, the mundane popularity Bhautik Kirti, which is attached with the mundane personalities and celebrities of this world. That is not what the Lord possesses in full amount. He does not possess mundane fame in full amount. He possesses completely different type of fame in full amount, and that is transcendental fame. All the qualities have their personified forms in the transcendental world. If you say, "Oh quality of fame, please make yourself manifest before me," then the quality of fame with a particular type of bodily shape, texture, complexion and nature will appear in front of your eyes. That is not possible with the mundane quality of fame. The mundane quality of fame is just an abstract, vague quality without having any form, without having any consciousness. That is why all the six opulences that the Lord possesses, they all have personified forms. First of all, they all have personified forms. They are all conscious. They are all eternal. They all exist simultaneously within the personality of the Lord, and they exist in full amount. This is the difference. In this condition, this criterion cannot be met by any mundane personality, no matter how high he is, no matter whether he is Brahma, Shiva, Indra, or anyone whosoever. None of these personalities in the mundane world have these six opulences. First of all, the ontological difference is there. The opulences that we are talking about are completely transcendental, having personified forms and conscious in nature. If you say in the transcendental world, the quality of fame, the quality of renunciation, the quality of physical strength, the quality of physical beauty, all these qualities have the propensity of thinking, feeling and willing. But do these qualities in the mundane world have the propensities and the natural inclination for thinking, willing and feeling? They don't have these abilities. If you say that in this mundane world the quality of fame, can the quality of fame think, will or feel? No, because it is unconscious, dead, inert quality, abstract and vague and ambiguous, without any personified form. It is impersonal. These qualities are impersonal. But that's the ontological difference, first of all. So the Lord has these six qualities, but these six qualities are different from their mundane counterparts because there are difference in their ontological identities. Then the second difference is the Lord has these transcendental qualities in full amount, not in partial. So the third difference is the Lord has these transcendental qualities not only in full amount, but they exist in Him simultaneously. Third difference. Fourth difference is that these qualities they are conscious and they have desires of thinking, willing, feeling, and they have personified forms. So these are the three main differences. They exist in totality, they exist in simultaneous way, and they are completely different in their ontological nature from the mundane counterparts of them. So Shadaishwarya Purna Bhagavan, the Bhagavan feature of the Lord, which is different from the Paramatma and the Nirvishesh Brahma, in the sense that the Bhagavan feature of the Lord possesses all these six opulences. The same Bhagavan, when he incarnates, when he does not empower a living entity, but when he himself incarnates, but does not make manifest all these six opulences, but makes only one of these six opulences manifest, and that also in partial amount. He has these opulences existing within him in full amount, but he displays only the partial amount. Just like example of Paurnamasi or full moon day is given. Full moon has that light, but it does not display that light on other 14 or on other 29 days of the month. The moon is not, although it possesses all the 16 kalas, all the 16 potencies, and these 16 potencies are the one who make the full moon appear as full moon. But these 16 opulences are existing within moon even when moon is not fully radiant on other 29 days of the month. They are just not being displayed, but they are there, they are existing within his personality. In the same way, in the Bhagavad Shakti-Avesh Avatar, these potencies are existing, but they are not displayed because they are not needed. The display of the whole aggregate potency is not needed there. So Vyasadeva is Bhagavad Shakti-Avesh Avatar of the Lord, but this is not the case with the other Vyasadevas. Only the Vyasadeva of this particular Chaturyugi. Because it is said that in one day of Brahma, Swayam Bhagavan Shri Krishna and Swayam Bhagavan Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they only incarnate once. So, in this one kalpa, one daytime of Brahma, that means 14 manvantaras. In this big vast amount, in this much elongated time, in this prolonged time, Shri Chaitanya Dev and Shri Krishna Chandra, who are Swayam Bhagavan, they incarnate only once. And whenever, in whichever Dwapar Yuga, Swayam Bhagavan Shri Krishna is incarnating, and in whichever Kali Yuga following this Dwapar Yuga, Shri Chaitanya Deva is incarnating, in that particular Dwapar Yuga, the Vyasa which incarnates is also not Jiva Shaktyavish like the other normal Vyasas. The Vyasa Devas in other Dwapar Yugas, in those Dwapar Yugas, when Krishna, Swayam Bhagavan is not going to incarnate. In those Dwapar Yugas, the Vyasa Devas who appear are of Jiva Shaktyavish category. They are just empowered by the Jnana Shakti or the knowledge potency of the Lord and the potency of being omniscient, Sarvajna. But they are not the Lord themselves. But this particular Vyasadeva is Lord himself, Narayan, only manifesting his Jnana Shakti out of the other opulences. And that is why Vyasadeva is very purposefully explaining the ontological position of Vyasadeva by saying Krishna Dvaipayanam Vyasam Vidhi Narayanam Prabhu. Krishna Dvaipayanam Vyasam Sakshat Narayanam Prabhu Vidhi. Sakshat Narayanam Prabhu Vidhi. Oh Maitreya, you should know, you should understand, you should become completely familiar and aware and acquainted with the ontological position of Vyasadeva. He is not just like any other Vyasadeva of any other Dwapar. He is not just living entity empowered by Lord Narayana, Jiva Shaktyavish. No, he is not Jiva Shaktyavish. He is not a very great rishi or very great sage or saintly personality. No, he is Sakshat Narayana. He is directly Narayana himself, only manifesting, only displaying, only exposing his Jnana Shakti. That is why he is Bhagavad Shaktyavish, not the Jiva Shaktyavish. That is why Krishna Dvaipayanam Vyasam Sakshat Narayanam Prabhu Vidhi. So this is the ontological, and that is why it has been said in the Puranas that the other Vyasa Devas of other Dwapar Yugas, they are not given the title Krishna Dvaipayan. Only this Vyasadeva has been given the title Krishna Dvaipayan because he is Krishna or Narayana himself, Bhagavad Shaktyavish, and not the Jiva Shaktyavish. He has been given the title Krishna Dvaipayan. Now what is the greatness of the Acharyas following in the footsteps of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in contrast to even Vyasadeva, who is considered to be the original common Acharya for all the different sects and sampradayas and lineages of Sanatana Vedic Dharma, whom all the other sects and sampradayas have equal regard for whom? That Vyasadeva. Even Shaktas accept him as Acharya. Even Vaishnavas accept him as Acharya. Even Shaivas accept him as Acharya. Even Garapatyas and Sauras accept him as Acharya. Even Nirvishesh, Brahmavadi, Mayavadi, Advaitavadi, Shankarites, Shankaracharya Anuyayis, even the followers of Shankaracharya accept him as the main Acharya of their sampradaya. So all the different sects of Sanatana Vedic Dharma, ultimately they have very high regard for Vyasadeva, who is the compiler of the Mula Shastra, the original scriptures, which means the 4 Vedas, the 108 Upanishads, and the 18 Puranas, Brahma Sutra, and Bhagavad Gita and Mahabharata and Vishnu Sahasranama. So, because Vyasadeva is the original compiler of the Mula Shastra, of the original scriptures of the Dharma, that is why all the different sects have equal regard for him. Now, this Vyasadeva, who is Krishna himself, Bhagavad Shaktyavish Avatar, what's the difference between him and our Acharyas? Vyasadeva, in all his writings combined, has written how many shlokas? In Vedas, as we were explaining yesterday in our lecture in Laguna Beach ISKCON Temple, in the 4 Vedas combined, Samaved, Yajurved, Atharvaved and Rigved. In all the 4 Vedas combined, there are only 100,000 mantras. In the 4 Vedas combined. And then in the 18 Puranas combined, 18 Puranas, including Srimad Bhagavatam, in all the 18 Mahapuranas combined together, there are 4 lakh mantras. 4 lakh. Then in the Mahabharata, there is 1 lakh. There are 1 lakh mantras. 100,000 means 1 lakh. This is the Indian numerical system. There are 3 numerical systems found in the world. The American one, the British one, and the Indian one. So the Indian numerical system has equal value. So the 100,000 or 1 lakh mantras are there in the Mahabharata, 1 lakh mantras in the Vedas, and 4 lakh mantras in the 18 Puranas. How many? 6 lakhs. Then in the Brahma Sutra there are 540 aphorisms, and practically this is it. So 6 lakh mantras with 540 aphorisms. The whole compilation of Vyasadeva is only this much. In comparison, the compilation of only Rupa Goswami Pad is 4 lakh mantras, 4 lakh shlokas. All the books, all the 18 books of Rupa Goswami Pad, if they are combined together, they come out to be 4 lakh shlokas. And Sanatana Goswami Pad is almost 2 lakh. And then what to speak of acharyas like Jiva Goswami? What to speak of acharyas like Raghunath Das Goswami, Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Prabodhananda Saraswati, Kavi Karnapuru Goswami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baldev Vidya Bhushan Prabhu, and the writings of all these acharyas in Sanskrit language, who are all the followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, surpasses the amount of 7 lakh shlokas, which is more than what Vyasadeva has compiled. And these books, surpassing the 7 lakh shlokas, are just explaining one portion of Vyasadeva's whole writing, and that is Srimad Bhagavatam. Because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has considered Srimad Bhagavatam to be the utmost and the most important type of spotless evidence. Aratyo Bhagavan Rajesh Tanayas Tadham Vrindavanam Ramya Kachid Upasana Vrajavadhu Vargenaya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapuranam Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam Prema Pumartho Mahan. Srimad Bhagavatam has been considered Amal Praman, or the most spotless and purest and uncontaminated type of evidence by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That is why, as explanation, as explanation of Srimad Bhagavatam, our acharyas, Purva acharyas, and our 6 Goswamis, whatever they have written in Sanskrit, whatever all the literatures that they have compiled, they all surpass 700,000 shlokas. And they are all dedicated just in explaining Srimad Bhagavatam. So today we do not have much time. Starting from tomorrow, we will touch the glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam in a more deeper way, and we will continue that for 3 days, and then we will continue speaking on the Chaturshloki of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and then at last we will speak on the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, some of the important portions of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, and then because the Chaturshloki means the seed verses, the 4 seed verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. So these different topics will be covered during our 6-day session. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
You can take one question.
Yes. So if anyone from the audience has any useful, relevant, and significant inquiry, they can present that inquiry at this very moment. Yes.
You said that all the different groups accepted Vyasadeva as I don't remember the authority.
Yes, as the common ground for establishing the different philosophies of their sects. They have established, because Vedas have to be, if you are not quoting from the Vedas, from the Upanishads, from the Puranas, Mahabharata and Gita, you cannot establish your sect.
Because I find it a little bewildering that how they can accept Vyasadeva's authority, but they cannot come to the conclusion of Srimad Bhagavatam that he wrote.
That we will describe tomorrow, why that misconception is created, when we will describe the significance of Srimad Bhagavatam on top of the other compilations of Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva has compiled many different literatures, as we just now explained and enumerated. But among all those different types of treatises compiled by Sri Vyasadeva, why Srimad Bhagavatam has the most, why Srimad Bhagavatam occupies the most exalted position among his whole literature. While describing this tomorrow, we will understand, we will be able to understand why this misconception is created within the different sects also. Many of the questions, related inquiries will be answered tomorrow. Yes. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Since we started today late at 7:15 instead of 7 o'clock, that is why instead of 8:30 we continued up to 8:45.
So
Okay.
now we will have nursing Aarti.
Yes.
5 minutes.
And then you are all
Sadhu.
yes, you are all invited to honor prasadam. So, कौन गाएगा नरसिंह आरती?
हम प्रभु जी
Okay, okay.
हरि बोल कमलेश प्रभु आरती करो. थोड़ा घी लो ना.
श्री नरसिंह देव भगवान की जय।
थोड़ा घी से.
नारायण